Imagine stepping into a place once filled with magic, where laughter, gasps, and applause rolled through the air like waves of electricity. Imagine a building that once glowed with neon marquees, its velvet curtains parting to reveal worlds of wonder on the silver screen. Now imagine all of that gone. The lights are extinguished, the laughter has died, and the audience has long since disappeared into history. All that remains are hollow husks of decaying architecture, torn velvet seats, shattered chandeliers, and echoes that do not belong to the present. Tonight, we journey into the ghostly remains of abandoned cinemas, grand palaces of entertainment that now stand as eerie monuments to time, memory, and perhaps something darker lurking in the shadows. These are not just forgotten buildings. They are haunted time capsules where the echoes of past audiences refuse to fade. The curtain rises on decay. Our story begins outside a once proud movie palace, its marquee letters missing, leaving only half-formed words dangling like broken teeth. The posters in the glass cases have yellowed, faded into ghostly smudges of color, their heroes and heroines erased by the years. The wind whistles through shattered windows, carrying with it whispers of the past. The camera lingers on the locked doors, covered in dust and grime, as though the theater itself is holding its breath, waiting for someone to return. Where silver screens once gleamed, now only shadows dance. What secrets do these crumbling walls still hold? And more importantly, what refuses to leave them? Inside, the silence is suffocating. The lobby, once alive with ticket sellers, ushers, and the impatient shuffle of crowds, now lies frozen in ruin. Dust blankets the ticket booth, the glass cracked like a spider web. A rusted popcorn machine stands silent, its gears locked, its buttery scent replaced by the sour tang of mildew. Empty candy boxes lie crushed on the floor, relics of the last show decades ago. There is a stillness here, but it isn't peaceful. It's the kind of stillness that presses against your ears, heavy, almost alive. As you step deeper, the floorboards creak, and for a moment you almost hear it. The echo of chatter, the sound of coins sliding across a counter, the rustle of popcorn bags. Were these just tricks of the imagination, or are the walls themselves remembering the life they once held? The deeper you go, the more the theater reveals. In the corners, you find discarded film reels, their celluloid strips curled and cracked, yet holding fragments of forgotten stories. Projector parts lie scattered, broken teeth of once powerful machines that cast light into dreams. Velvet seats, now torn and moldy, sit in rows like broken soldiers, their red fabric stained black by water damage. And here's the strange thing. You can almost picture it. The anticipation, the hush that fell over the crowd as the lights dimmed, the collective breath before the screen came alive. It's as though time has folded in on itself, leaving you standing in two worlds at once, the decayed present and the glittering past. Then comes the grandeur's ghost, the auditorium, vast, cavernous, filled with shafts of dusty light piercing through collapsed ceilings. Once, this was the heart of the theater. Now, it is a cathedral of silence. The ornate ceiling is cracked, but still magnificent, with faded murals depicting gods of cinema, angels, and mythological creatures. Proscenium arches, chipped and weather-worn, frame the stage where so many stories once began. And here, in this enormous emptiness, it's impossible not to feel the presence of those who came before. Was this where a young couple shared their first kiss under the flicker of black and white film? Was this where families gathered for matinee adventures, children clutching candy, their eyes wide with wonder? Every decaying detail whispers of lives once touched, dreams once projected, emotions that have seeped into the very walls. And then, the echoes. Subtle at first, but undeniable. A faint swell of orchestral music almost too quiet to notice. A distant laugh, quickly cut off. You turn, but there's no one there. Paranormal investigators have long claimed that abandoned cinemas are some of the most haunted structures in existence. Why? Because theaters are energy traps. Think of it. Hundreds, even thousands of people gathered in one space, night after night, releasing their emotions. Joy, fear, sorrow, excitement, all absorbed by the building itself. Over decades, those emotions build, imprinting onto the structure like invisible scars. And when the audience leaves for good, those imprints remain. They linger, replaying themselves like broken records. Many urban explorers claim to hear phantom applause in these ruins, or see shadowy figures sitting silently in torn seats as though the final show never ended. But let's not forget, the cinema was more than entertainment. It was the soul of the community. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, theaters became sanctuaries. For just a few cents, people could escape the harshness of reality, trading hunger and hardship for glamour and dreams. They were places where strangers became a collective audience, breathing as one. These buildings were not just theaters. They were social melting pots, memory factories. So when they fell silent, when television and later streaming killed the Grand Palace experience, their absence was felt like a death. And in that void, something darker seeped in. The projection booth. This is the place that feels the most haunted of all. Step inside and you find the skeletons of powerful machines, their reels still loaded with film too brittle to move. Rusted canisters lie stacked in corners, labels fading into illegibility. Once, from this very room, beams of light carved dreams into darkness. Now it is nothing but dust and decay. But there's an energy here. Ask any explorer who has dared to enter. Some say they feel watched, others say they hear the whir of projectors starting up on their own, though the machines are decades dead. One urban explorer swore he saw a ghostly beam of light cut across the auditorium, a film playing to an invisible audience. The screen was gone, but the performance continued in another dimension for those who were willing or unlucky enough to see it. And so we ask, what is the future of these forgotten palaces? Many are demolished, reduced to rubble and parking lots, their magic erased forever. Others are revitalized, turned into concert halls, restaurants, or apartments, their history preserved beneath new paint and new purpose. And some remain untouched, locked away, time capsules of a bygone era, their secrets rotting slowly in the dark. Perhaps this is the fate they deserve, to remain suspended between past and present, between the living and the dead. Because here's the truth. Though the films have stopped rolling, though the velvet curtains will never rise again, the echoes of their magic and the human stories intertwined with them will never truly fade. They live on in every broken seat, every cracked mural, every whisper of laughter that should not exist. They are reminders that the places we create for joy and wonder do not simply die. They transform, becoming haunted archives of our collective soul. So the next time you pass a boarded-up cinema, take a moment. Look at its darkened windows and imagine the light that once poured from them. Listen closely to the silence. You might just hear the faint echo of an audience applauding a film that ended nearly a century ago. The haunting echoes of abandoned cinemas are all around us, waiting, lingering, refusing to be silenced. The curtain has fallen, yes, but the ghosts are still watching.